Happening now, Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police, Charlotte Fire, Medic, and other area agencies are participating in a large-scale traffic accident response drill. It's a drill. The goal is to make sure they're prepared to help you in a real-life emergency. And WTV's Mary Calkins is joining us now live from I-77 Express and Mobility Partners off West Harris Boulevard in North Charlotte. Mary, tell us what's happening out there.
Well, John, we actually wrapped up a little bit early. Crews were about to begin clearing a landing pad for a helicopter because helicopters are often needed to take victims to the hospital in these critical car crash situations. But because of the weather, they weren't able to do that part of the drill. However, they just completed the first part. And I'll tell you, really the point of this, what officials tell me, is it gives first responders the opportunity to see what they do well during large-scale traffic accidents and what they need to improve upon. Now, what you're looking at is video from the first part of the drill this morning. Crews evacuated a mock victim from a car after a tractor trailer overturned on top of it. After Medic worked to take the victim from the scene, Charlotte Fire and Highway Patrol troopers got the tractor trailer upright so they could save a second pretend victim who was trapped inside the car. Participants, including CMPD, Medic, Charlotte Fire, and other agencies, will evaluate their performance to find areas where they need to improve. And finally, they were going to practice clearing that landing area for a medical helicopter. Again, they weren't able to do that because of weather. Now, officials say it's not only about teamwork within one particular agency, but across all first response agencies, from fire to police to medic and so forth.
So we do these simulations in a controlled environment so that we can get better as a multi-agency response. We have representation from just about every agency along the corridor, and when we can do that in a controlled environment, we can pinpoint some things that are areas for improvement and also highlight what we do well to share with others.
Now, this is the second year they've done this training exercise, and I'm told it's something they plan to do annually. For now, reporting live in North Charlotte, Mary Calkins, WBTV, on your side.
All right.